Welcome to the Something Random podcast, where sometimes we talk about movies, sometimes we talk about television, but we always talk about something random. I'm your host, Charles Joseph Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Michael C. Macbeth.
Hey, my name is Joel Adam Chavez. Thanks for listening.
Hey guys, quick question before we begin. Did any, strange Asian men try to sell you weird plants?
Yes. Today, for $1.95.
$1.95?
Yes, indeed, so.
So what did you guys think about the eclipse?
It was interesting.
I thought it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. It was a phenomenon to watch.
It was a phenomenal phenomenon.
Yes.
Phenomena?
No, yes, but it was a phenomenal phenomenon.
That's good.
This is the third eclipse I've ever seen, solar eclipse I've seen. I saw one in, I believe it was the early 90s, and one just a few years before that too, maybe 89 or 90. And I had no idea what was going on, so I couldn't enjoy them as much. I was like, wow. So this was more fun because I knew it was actually happening.
Right. This kind of is a little bit of a digression from what we normally talk about. We answer your questions on this podcast about movies, television, video games, theater. So what have you guys been watching this week?
Well, I'm going to cross the line of how well you may need to know me, but I'm a very big fan of Dance Moms. And
I am not surprised.
Chloe and Christy have come back. And give me a break. I don't watch much reality TV. But,
I'm not gonna judge you, but I need to know what is your obsession with the show. Pitch the show to me to make it so that I'm obsessed with the show as well.
Okay. Well, there is a lot of dancing.
Okay.
And there are some moms.
There are also mothers.
One
yes.
or two at least.
There are about anywhere from 7 to 10 mothers per episode. But okay. I don't know if I could pitch this and make it sound interesting to anyone. And I don't even know what I like about it so much. It's a guilty pleasure, and I cannot help watching it.
See, for me, having worked at dance studios galore, front desk teacher, etc., it's too close to home for me. I watch this stuff happening, and it's like, no, but that's real life.
Right. I know. And I think, there's obviously, as there is with many reality TV these days, there's a lot of written things and overproduced things, and that's definitely part of it. They just add drama. But the things that were interesting the past few weeks is that Abby Lee, who's the big teacher, is going. She's actually going to prison for bankruptcy fraud.
What?
Yeah, she got she's in prison now, but she got sentenced this week on the reality show, which was back in I don't know, maybe March or so, but she got sentenced to a year and a day. So she's gone on the show now, and a mother and a daughter that she hates are now back on the show. Gosh. Yeah, those of us that are fans are interested.
That's very fascinating.
Do they do cut twos to her in prison?
No. There's no camera. They wouldn't even let the camera pass the gate.
It would be like
so it's legit.
No touching.
Anyway, but I can only assume that not many of our listeners watch Dance Mom, so we can move on from that.
All right, Michael.
Oh, well, I went and got a wild hair this last week and rewatched the Matrix trilogy.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it was all on Netflix, and It is.
What?
All three of them.
The full trilogy.
Fun fact, The Matrix was the first DVD I ever owned.
Knowing you, that's really strange.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, that was, I was probably 13 or so, and...
Your parents let you have The
we
Matrix?
We didn't realize it was rated R.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so... it was very interesting to watch it now with slightly more grown-up eyes.
Has it been? How long has it been since you watched them?
Since I watched the sequels, a long time. I'll rewatch the first one every so often, every 3 years or so, just to say I did, I guess. But no, it was interesting to kind of get a little bit more in depth into the connections of the plot, and it's and to not worry as much about the visual aspects, which some were great and some, especially in the sequels, were kind of ew.
I must admit, I did not see the third Matrix. I liked the first one a lot. I thought it was a really cool concept. The second one was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best thing in the world. And the third one I never saw, but I'm sure it's...
Almost none of it actually takes place in the Matrix.
Oh.
It's all
Plot
in
twist.
the quote-unquote
Spoiler
real world.
alert.
Well, and that is a fan theory that that is pretty popular, that it's kind of like Inception. They're so deep into layers of matrices.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so the real world, as they think they know it, is just another version of the Matrix that they're inside still.
Interesting.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed it.
Anything else?
What about you?
Ooh, I've been watching a few things.
Yes.
First off was my Lost Bet movie, which was #horror from last week.
Yes.
Which was...
Tell us.
Oh, it was so bad. So...
I agree.
I kind of wanted to talk about the moment where I thought the movie jumped the shark.
I'm glad that you... Okay, keep going. Sorry, go ahead.
The moment that the movie jumped the shark for me was when the hashtag from #horror grabbed a gun and shot at the screen. And this is not a bit. This is not a joke. This actually happens in the movie.
So the pound sign, the four lines,
the four
put
lines
together,
grabs a gun, shoots at the watcher of the movie. There's also another one where the hashtag grabs a knife and does like a stabby motion towards the screen.
No.
This is like an actual thing that happens.
No.
It's good.
It's so bad. It's so good. Oh, it was so enjoyable to watch because it was such a bad film. It's like, it's an interesting concept. First off, having a movie based around social media, because social media is such a huge part of our lives, and to make a horror film about that, so cool. But it's like the old 70-year-old guy who's never been on Facebook making this movie. First off, biggest complaint about this entire film, whenever they do a hashtag, they do #horror, and they do a hashtag after the thing. So it's two hashtags.
Right, yeah. And then the word hashtag.
It's like they don't understand, like, nobody does hashtags like that. Nobody does hashtags like that, and it made me so angry.
So, wait, wasn't this just a couple of years ago that there was a horror film about a group of friends that were all, like, on a group video chat?
Yes, that was called Unfriended, I believe, is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah. So there have been horror movies based on social media that have been done better.
Yeah, my friend John, I actually went over to my friend John's house one day and he was watching that and I hadn't seen it before. And I go, what are you watching? And he goes, Unfriended. And I go, that good? I go, that good, huh? And he's like, I just can't stop watching it. Like, it's one of those films where it's like, you have to see what happens. That's kind of what it was like with #horror with me. And it was what, you know how they say, we talked about this a couple weeks ago with what makes a bad movie. If you talk about a train wreck movie where it's like, it's so bad you just have to look at it. But this one, it's like, you actually, you kind of do just want to shut it off.
Yeah.
But I don't like just turning off movies. I don't like to just turn them off. I'd have to keep going. So I don't know. That's just, I don't know.
So for me, this movie would have been like 10 times better if they understood just the graphically what social media looks like. It doesn't look like, if you go to, it doesn't look like MySpace from 2005.
Right,
That's not what this looks
Maybe
like.
they didn't have the rights to the current Facebook.
No, that's not the problem. You can get a blue color and a white color, right? And put those together and make it, that's all you need. That would have been 100 times better than what they've done here.
It was very Lisa Frank.
Oh yeah.
And it was very, like, it was like the internet had been designed by 13-year-old girls.
13-year-old girls playing Candy Crush. There was like a weird, like, game aspect of the whole murder thing. And it was so... It made no sense.
Was it not even Quasi Cupcakes?
It wasn't even Quasi Cupcakes. It wasn't Cake Cucks. It was...
So, all right, listen. This is a film recommendation. If you're at home and you're maybe...
Drunk.
I was going to say on some sort of mind, altering substance or another thing, check out #horror. You might not want to do it when you're sober, but yeah.
If you're really interested in making fun of movies, #horror is there for you. It's so good. There's not a single... There's a moment where in quotations, the fat girl says, "I'm a little lying fatty piggy, and I'm going to eat my feelings." And she stuffs her mouth while she's saying, "I'm going to eat my feelings." Actual line from the film.
It's very odd.
Oh, it's so weird. There's a part where they get these weird man masks. It doesn't explain where these masks have come from.
Or why they have them.
Yeah, or why they decide to put on these creepy ass masks. They're not even that creepy. It's like weird like Snapchat
Do they
filter
look like
faces.
butts? Is that why they're creepy ass masks?
I
know, that was bad. Moving on.
Yes.
Thanks for ruining my conversation piece, Michael.
Oh yeah. Anytime.
So I got two more.
Yes,
one,
please.
One is Defenders, which we're gonna talk about next week. I want to, before we talk spoilers of the show, I want to give a little bit of time to digest what happened in that show. I binged it in a day. I finished it on Friday when it came out.
Okay.
And then the other one is the finale of The Adventure Zone, which is a incredible, to say the least, story-based podcast by the McElroy brothers of My Brother and Me fame. And it was their last episode, and all I can say is that after 2.5 years of listening, I was openly weeping at this finale. It was so well written. It was so good to see these characters end their stories in interesting and dramatic ways, and I'm super excited for whatever comes next from that podcast.
So it was the series finale of Adventure Zone.
Series finale of the Adventure. Well, they're going to be starting a new storyline with brand new characters, probably a new gaming. They're not going to use Dungeons and Dragons anymore. They're probably going to use another game. But yeah, they're going to start something new. Not next week, but the week after.
Very cool. That's exciting. I also started watching The Defenders, but I haven't gotten all the way through it. And I'm very, very excited to finish it and talk about it, especially seeing as how I have not watched Luke Cage or Iron Fist.
Luke Cage was not the best, and Iron Fist was a steaming pile of dog turds. So I'm glad that you didn't have to watch this. So, hey guys, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So the question is, with the rising popularity in movies being turned into musicals on Broadway, like Groundhog Day,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What's the next movie that deserves
Footloose?
Footloose? Yeah. All these
Dirty Dan. No, wait, no, that was a live thing.
Dirty Dancing was a musical.
Was it?
They made a musical, I think.
Oh, Ghost.
right.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Okay, but what's the next movie that deserves to become a musical?
Well, I wish that I had a lot of money and I could take a few years off and not work. My only work being that I could write a musical, because I really, really want to write. I don't want to give my idea away, but I really want to write two things. One is A League of Their Own, the musical.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be really good.
Yes, and also Thelma and Louise, the musical.
Ooh.
Two of my very favorite movies. Actually, Thelma and Louise, trivia, fun fact, is my very favorite movie. And I just think they're both great stories. There's a lot of heart in both the movies, as well as drama and comedy. And I think there's great aspects that could be that could work on stage. And I would love to see those. And I'd love to be the author, or not the author, but the, what do you call it? Playwright.
That's the word.
Adapter. You know what I mean.
Adapted for the stage by
the
Joel
word?
Adam Chavez.
What's the word?
I think adapted by.
Adapted by.
Michael.
Me? Oh man. Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, there are so many options.
let's do something a little bit more interesting and delve into something that wouldn't be a musical normally, like American Psycho. Nobody thought American Psycho would be a musical. Now it's a musical. What is an action movie that would make a not Spider-Man, because that ended out pretty poorly? What action movie should become a musical?
Oh, The Matrix.
The Matrix, the musical. Okay.
The Matrix Soul.
Matrix, the Matrix trilogy, the musical, or just the first movie?
No, I think the fact that they ended The Matrix 1 on such a note of this is a beginning. It was so powerful that to actually end the story at the end of the trilogy was a lot less powerful.
Yeah, I get that.
You watch that and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's over now, I guess. So no, I would definitely only do the first film.
Okay.
And of course, a la Spider-Man, you would have to have a lot of fly lines and.
I wouldn't say like too many fly lines. He only flies a couple times. He only flies once.
But they do a lot of stunts that involve floating.
That's true.
Over long periods of time that humans.
It would be very
do.
like Peter Pan heavy.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of harnesses and flies up there, and I mean maybe it would be just as cursed as Spider-Man, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah,
that would be an interesting. Yeah, that would be good.
And here's the thing about turning movies into musicals: it's been proven time and time again that it's not about the story; it's about who writes the music and how.
Okay, so
you
Matrix,
gotta have good music.
Well,
the Matrix movie. Who writes the music? Is it Elton John?
No, nor Alan Menken. I don't think that would be.
Alan Menken.
No Menken, no John. Oh man.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I don't know. You know, I aside from the big, Broadway playwrights, I'm not super familiar with a lot of current, more contemporary people. I mean, the Lin-Manuels and the Jason Robert. Like, I know who they are, and I know their style, but I don't know. I don't know a lot of the
Lin-Manuel
songs.
You know what?
Actually, do that justice. I would definitely pay to see a Lin-Manuel Miranda.
How did you say that?
Matrix the musical. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Manuel.
Lin-Manuel transmission.
Sorry. Manuel.
So I would go a completely different route for who writes the music. I would choose because it has that metal, like heavy metal kind of a feel to it.
Right.
I would allow a band like Green Day, not Green Day. You know what? Honestly, Rob Zombie would be perfect.
I was gonna say Rob Zombie's never directed on Broadway, and he could do. He
is such a talented individual. I would say Muse would do very well with something like this. They're a little bit too weird for that. But like those people who understand rock and roll and that grunge feel, I don't think that it could be a normal musical. And I love this idea. I don't think we should talk about this anymore because I think this is our movie at the end of the podcast.
Because you want to write it.
I want to write Matrix the musical.
Well, so I'll digress a little bit here and just going back to that, two examples that I actually coupled now because I just saw a live production of Sister Act, and it has the same problem that The Wedding Singer has. Both of them are decent enough musicals in their own right, of course, but the whole premise of the movie Wedding Singer is that it's beating you over the head with the 80s. It's a lot of 80s references, which is great and hilarious. But when the people who wrote the musical were not allowed to use those 80s songs that were in the film, they were at such a loss and had to overcompensate with those references. I felt the same way with Sister Act. They did Bible references instead of 80s references. Like, because now we're talking about
Catholicism. Yeah, I think I agree with you on The Wedding Singer, and I'm very familiar with it. I hate to say it's almost overdone because I think it actually is overdone with all the 80s references that they put in. No, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the stage show.
Yeah,
it's like it's too much. They throw in stuff about Mr. Belvedere and like just these,
New Coke. They make a freaking reference to New Coke,
but
and
they
it's
throw-
like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
And
they-
it's like an early Starbucks reference.
they
It's
throw
so
in they
dumb.
throw in all these references, and it's like, okay, we get it. It's 1985. We get it. And and I think it's because we're missing that the actual pop music.
Yeah.
I know. I disagree that it's based around the music. That's the issue with that. Look at movies or TV shows that do handle this situation like time periods like the 80s. Stranger Things handles the 80s, I would say, perfectly, because it does show all the posters, all the nerdy references, all that stuff like that, but it doesn't slap it over your face. Every single
yeah,
line
right. Yeah,
isn't a
yeah.
reference to the 80s.
But Stranger Things is an original.
Yes, but
So
I
if they
mean,
made Stranger Things the musical-
I would say Wedding Singer would be just. I would say the music is solid for Wedding Singer the musical. Like, it has some great numbers. I think there's a couple of them that, like, a couple lines changed would make it better, but it would be a much better musical if they didn't reference the 80s as much. We know it's based in the 80s. We don't need a group of impersonators to follow people around.
Absolutely.
Some of them are fun, but it's just like having a Billy Idol impersonator at a wedding say it's a nice day for a white wedding is the stupidest shit on the planet.
I've never seen a Billy Idol impersonator in my life.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you wouldn't have. Well, I can't say it. You wouldn't have seen that in the 80s, but you probably wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't have seen these characters, and
At least not all together. Like,
Right.
there's an Imelda Marcos and a Billy Idol and a Cyndi Lauper and a Teeny Star all in the same room. Why would that happen?
No, it wouldn't happen. So I think that's the issue. It's not the music. The music is fine in its own right.
That's what I'm saying. Is the over referencing of the 80s in the musical was because of the fact that they didn't have access to the original 80s song.
Right, and I think the movie kind of wanted to not necessarily overdo it, but it was that kind of movie. It was that kind of movie, and they wanted that to translate to stage, and it just didn't work without the music. Stranger Things, and there's a lot of stuff that goes to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, like that makes it well, that puts it in the setting well, and they do it well without overkill. Stranger Things. I mean, even the Wonder Years and that 70s show, they put you there, but they don't kill it.
Right.
They just put you there. So
Yeah.
Wonder Years the musical.
hey, Winnie Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Winnie Cooper was so hot. That was my awful Daniel Stern impression. Thank you so much.
That's great.
All right, so I've got a question for you guys.
All right. What's that question, Michael?
Well, this comes from Let Them Burn on Reddit.
Hashtag. No, it's kidding.
They don't use hashtags on Reddit.
Name 2 movies that you could swap the main casts and make both movies better.
Name 2 movies that you could swap the main casts to make both movies better.
Okay, I dig this. It's going to take a little bit of thinking to get this one, but I dig this question.
That's a fun one.
So what's a movie?
All right, I'm thinking of big casts.
Yeah, let's
like
talk
big,
Like Ocean's
strong
11.
all-star ensemble casts. So I've got one.
Okay.
Clue, the movie.
Okay.
Good, strong, big all-star ensemble. Correct.
Yes.
What
That cast.
can we do with them?
Okay, that cast would make Suicide Squad 100 times better.
Oh, but would Jared Leto as Professor Plum work?
That could work. Okay. Because I know not a lot of people liked Suicide Squad. I know it was a lot of people did like it, but a lot of people didn't.
It was one of the few movies that I've walked out on. Like I was so I didn't walk out. I wanted to walk out, but I was so angry at the end of the movie. I was like, I should have walked out on this film, and I don't feel that at movies.
So you take Clue. You take Clue the movie. You got Tim Curry.
So Tim Curry as the Joker.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he's already been a clown once.
Yeah. Oh, he would be a perfect Joker.
Would that be too much of a put? Now, and we're not talking Tim Curry now. We're talking Tim Curry in 1986.
Right. I mean, you've got Tim Curry. You've got Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd could play like the Deadshot kind of character.
There's Michael McKean.
Yeah.
There's Eileen Brennan.
Yep. And Martin Mull.
Martin Mull. I can't think of her name.
Madeline
Flames.
Kahn.
Madeline Kahn.
Yeah.
Flames on the side of my face.
Would be Harley, yeah.
Yes.
Madeline
Oh,
Quinn.
absolutely. Madeline Quinn. That's good.
That's a good one. Okay, I dig that one. Okay, let's do another movie. Let's say a movie with a cast that doesn't work and a movie that the cast does work.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, are we putting Suicide Squad people in Clue?
That's what I was saying. Like Jared Leto is.
I don't know if it's
Professor
worth it.
Plum.
Okay, Jared. So yeah, Jared Leto as Professor Plum. We could. Yeah,
You could do Will Smith as Wadsworth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, who else? God, I don't remember a lot of the actors in that movie. You could do.
I actually don't either, but
I mean, it would be pretty much the same switch over from the other one. I can't remember.
flip flop.
What's another big cast movie?
Man.
How about the cast of Les Miserables?
Okay. Oh boy. Yes. Where are we going?
I don't know. Choose another movie.
Ocean's 11. I'll say it again.
Ooh, Ocean's 11 and Les Miserables. Switching those casts.
Okay. So George Clooney has to be Valjean.
Oh man.
But you don't want Matt Damon? No, Matt Damon as Marius would be perfect. Matt Damon.
So does that mean that Julia Roberts has to be Fantine?
Julia Roberts
yes,
is Fantine.
absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
I haven't
Pitt,
seen Ocean's.
Enjolras.
I haven't seen Ocean's 11 in ages.
Brad Pitt would be a killer Enjolras. I would love to see that.
Okay, so yeah, going in reverse now. So
Bernie Mac as Thénardier.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Well, we need a Mrs. Thenardier, Madame Thenardier.
Madame Thénardier. Let's
Who's
see.
the other? Who else? What other ladies are in?
Not very many.
Not a lot. It's a very male-driven cast.
Maybe Julia Roberts could do like.
No, how about this? Andy Garcia as Miss Thénardier. Bernie Mac and Andy Garcia. You do like a cross-dressing kind of a thing.
That could work. I was going to say we could also do it like a Meg Ryan and Joe versus the Volcano thing where Julia Roberts plays several roles.
I dig that.
She could be all three women. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
She could be all three women, a la Meg Ryan, Joe versus the Volcano.
Oh yes. So then Ocean's 11 with do you think that Hugh Jackman would be a good Danny Ocean?
Yeah, that could work. I'm more worried about George Clooney, Batman and Robining up Les Mis.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's keep in mind George Clooney has had a great repertoire.
He's a very
of film.
versatile actor. I'm sure. And can these guys who can sing from Ocean's 11? I've heard Julia Roberts sing. Never heard George Clooney. Hugh Jackman, for me, he's a lot like. He's one of the greats for me. He can do very little wrong.
For sure.
And he would do well.
All right, who would Russell Crowe play?
Can we just not have
Russell Crowe is an incredible actor.
He is. I know.
He was not chosen well for that role, so we still have to cast him in Ocean's 11.
I know. My bad. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm a little prejudiced there.
Yes, you are.
And that's okay.
Okay, so we've got Russell Crowe, we've got Sacha Baron Cohen, we've got Eddie Redmayne that we all need to cast for the male roles, and we've got a bunch of women in this cast. And Ocean's 11
What are we
isn't
gonna do?
really.
I think Anne Hathaway would be a marvelous.
I would put Anne Hathaway
Mrs. Ocean
definitely over what's her name, Tim Burton's wife.
Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah. So how about this? I mean, we've got a lot of male roles in Ocean's 11. Why don't we cast a lot of those roles as women? I think it would be perfectly fine to do.
That could happen.
It
Yeah,
would
there's
work
nothing
really
wrong
well.
with that.
Wait a minute.
Ghostbusters style.
Yeah.
Well,
They're doing a new Ocean's,
It's called Ocean's 8.
and it's all female.
It's an
isn't it?
all-female Ocean's movie. It looks like it's got a pretty incredible cast.
Who's in it? Is it Anne Hathaway?
It's Anne Hathaway.
I was going to say.
Anne Hathaway, yeah.
I was going to say, isn't Anne Hathaway in the new one?
Yeah.
You're thinking ahead, and you don't even realize it, my man.
It's Kate Blanchett, Katie Holmes, Anne Hathaway, Olivia Munn.
Oh, man.
Helena Bonham
And
Carter.
Helena
is in it.
Bonham. So
Yeah.
look at this.
Dakota Fanning, Matt Damon, Sandra Bullock is in it. Sarah Paulson. What?
Wow.
Rihanna.
Oh my word!
Get out of here. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do one more?
Okay, I've got one because I've got a cast that's you don't know him for much else. So we need to find a cast to put in these roles, and that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Original.
The original.
Okay.
So we have a lot of fairly unknown actors. We've got Gene Wilder, who's very famous, and then the rest of the cast was kind of
So you
Dodo,
have
who
to-
played Mike TV's mom, was famous, but nobody really knows her these days. Jack Albertson is grandpa. Nobody really knows him these days either, other than that he was in Willy Wonka. So what cast could we put there?
See, my biggest problem with this one is there's a lot
A lot of children.
that we would need to cast. So if we're
Stranger
splitting
Things
it
cast.
like straight across, who do we cast? Can we do TV? Because I would
Yes.
love to do the
Absolutely.
Stranger Kids.
Let's bring the Stranger Kids.
Stranger Things kids.
Stranger
Yeah,
Kids.
Stranger Kids. I want the Stranger Kids things into Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig
I mean,
that.
Mike could still be Mike.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I would want 11 to be Veruca just because it's so opposite of 11.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're talking about the actors, and she's everything that I've seen of her. She's a great actress.
Right.
Yeah. So she would be Charlie?
Because
No, she would be Veruca Salt.
Oh, Veruca.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
dig
want
that.
it now.
I
I
could
dig
also
that.
see her as Charlie, though.
like, so,
having
like
a
doing
female
like a
Charlie.
miscast kind of like it just being a girl named Charlie. I dig that. I dig that a lot.
I'd be okay with that as well. Toothless, what's his name?
Toothless.
Yeah, Toothless as Augustus,
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
See,
Not
I
like
can't- I
Ed
can't remember
TV.
that.
I would see like Ed TV instead.
No,
What
Mike
is it?
TV.
Mike TV.
Mike
Yeah.
TV.
And that's why I want
Ed
Mike
TV's
to
a
be
movie. I would put Winona Ryder as Mike TV's mom, though. And we need a Willy Wonka.
the detective.
Oh my!
No.
No?
not.
I could see him being whimsical if he wanted to be, or he could be a very gritty, smoking with his shirt open and his pants halfway
Okay.
open,
Alright,
just like
But wait, he
come
could
with
grow
me
out
and you'll
some,
be in a
some
world
wild hair.
of pure imagination.
I mean, Matthew Modine would be an interesting older, as he's the older doctor guy.
We could have a lot of fun with that one.
Oh, the AV teacher?
No. He was
No, but the AV teacher could be.
like the nerdy AV teacher.
Yeah, I think the sheriff or the detective could be Grandpa.
I could see that.
Because we do need a Grandpa. We'll age
Yeah.
makeup him up.
Yeah, I would switch. Yeah, I would definitely do that. I would have the detective as grandpa and have the
Look at
AV
me.
teacher as.
Up and about.
Okay, if we're doing like a weird miscast thing, Winona Ryder as Willy Wonka would be a pretty solid choice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, if you want to kill the movie, that would work. You could put her in that.
Ouch. Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's up?
So we can move on to this next
Oh,
thing.
right on.
Do you
yeah.
have
I've got
a 6 degrees for us?
for you guys. If you're
Yes.
ready for
I am
this.
so
Yes.
ready
I
to
hope
make you
you're-
watch a crappy movie.
Oh, me too. Me too.
You have one picked out for Michael.
I do.
And you have one picked out for us?
I do.
Okay, good.
So 6 degrees is a game we play, which you try to connect two actors via movies or TV shows that they have in common with other actors. So we are including TV in that. Animated films count for that. Pretty much anything as long as they are actors. And if it's a TV show, they have to be in the same episode for it to count.
Okay, good. All right.
Just as a reminder. So,
But guest stars do count?
guest stars do count if they guest star
Oof,
together.
Okay, that's a big... Okay.
Or if
Okay,
you're looking
okay.
for the actual star of the show.
all right.
All right, ready to do this, Joel? We're gonna kick some butt.
All right.
Got
So what I would like you to do
Mm-hmm.
is connect Paul Giamatti with Tyler Perry.
Paul Giamatti with Tyler... Oh, Tyler Perry, I'm super unfamiliar with.
Yeah, Tyler Perry. I don't know. No, you know what? So Tyler Perry was actually in Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. So that's a
Okay.
good one there.
Okay.
So on the other end, Paul Giamatti. He was in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Jamie Foxx was in that. What else has Paul Giamatti been in recently?
Paul Giamatti, he's in Private Parts.
Okay.
He's in the movie where he was the president on TV. Was it Sam Adams? Not Sam Adams. John Quincy. John Adams. Samuel Adams. You know what's funny is I heard an interview with Paul Giamatti, and he's like, "Oh, you were so good." People come up to me and say, "You were so good as Samuel Adams," and he's like, "Well, I didn't play that." Anyway,
Okay. All right. So let's do it this way. Paul Giamatti. with
Giamatti.
Jamie Foxx in the Spider-Man 2. Because he was in Spider-Man 2, right? Yes, he was in Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
He was technically in both.
He was technically in both.
He was the transition from
Right.
one to
So Jamie Foxx was in Django Unchained with
I don't know. I didn't see
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
So Django Unchained with Leonardo DiCaprio. What has Leonardo DiCaprio been in
with
recently?
Ben Affleck.
Or we can link Ben Affleck to him.
Oh, let's see. Well, he's connected to Johnny Depp with Gilbert Grape. Are Johnny Depp and Ben Affleck connected?
Oh.
Or we got let's see. Oh God. Leonardo DiCaprio and man.
Oh no.
I feel like it's like right there.
Right.
And then people are listening going, "Oh,
you guys are idiots." Okay, let's move to Leonardo DiCaprio to
we also have TV. Let's not forget. Is there TV in this? Can you tell us that?
I did not include any TV.
Okay, so there's no
can
TV.
you give us a hint from where we're at?
I can give you.
Are we anywhere close?
Maybe. I mean, I found a few different ways to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. But with my main way, I will tell you that Tyler Perry, surprisingly, was in Star Trek, the new, first of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Oh yeah, he was in the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto. I don't know many movies that they've been in.
I don't either. Zachary Quinto was on American Horror Story. I know that.
I'm still gonna go Ben Affleck.
You want to stick to that?
I'm gonna stick to that. Oh Jesus.
We
We're
gotta
gonna
connect
lose.
then to
We've
leave.
got
No, I don't think he did anything with Jim Caviezel.
so Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, Gilbert Grape.
Oh shit. Okay, so instead of Leonardo DiCaprio in that, we do Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz was in Inglourious Basterds with Brad Pitt. We can do Brad Pitt to Matt Damon.
There you go.
And
that might be more than 6, though, man.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Okay, so we've got Paul Giamatti to Jamie Foxx, right? Jamie Foxx to Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds.
Okay.
No, sorry, sorry, Jamie Foxx in Django Unchained. Inglourious Basterds with Christoph Waltz and Brad Pitt and Matt Damon in shit. What was the movie that I just said?
I forgot.
Fuck.
You said it.
I know. I just said it.
Was that more than 6 though?
No,
we're
that's
at 4.
3. We're at 3 right now.
This is the fourth one.
This is the fourth
if we can
one.
Think of the movie.
You
just said it, and I can't remember what
Jesus. Oh no, it's Ocean's 11. They were in Ocean's 11 together.
That's
4.
four.
That's 4 is Ocean's 11. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in Good Will Hunting. What is up?
it was. And then Ben Affleck to Tyler Perry in
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
What is
up?
up?
Was that 6 exactly?
That is 6.
Nice. All right.
That was good. I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Ooh, I was worried there for a second.
You got it.
That was totally different than what I had.
What? Tell us what you had.
What I had was very unique. So Tyler Perry in Star Trek.
Okay.
And then I went Simon Pegg, who was in Mission Impossible 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, with Alec Baldwin.
I would not have gone that way at all.
I know. This was some fun randomized IMDb searching that produced this. Alec Baldwin, of course, just did the movie The Boss Baby.
Yes.
And then Lisa Kudrow did a voice in The Boss Baby. And she was in Easy A with Amanda Bynes.
Who was in
Big Fat
Liar with Paul Giamatti. Nice, dude. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, so what am I watching?
You're watching the incredible documentary What the Health.
Yes.
All right.
You have to watch What the Health, and we will discuss the shit out of it next week. What the Health, I heard was fantastic. and everyone was like, you have to watch this. Not everyone, a few people.
It's I don't understand why people think that this is actual science and this guy is doing anything that's actual reporting or journalism. It's terrible. I can't wait for you to watch this film.
I would like people to watch What the Health to see how not to make a documentary.
Exactly.
Documentary is in quotes with my fingers. Okay.
For those of you listening and not watching.
So, did you have a time on how quickly we did that?
That was about 4 minutes.
Ooh, cutting it close.
Somebody good.
All right. Hey, Joel, do you have a question for us, sir?
You know I do. We had a listener that wanted to know which actors could have played an iconic role equally well. For example, could Jeremy Irons' Hannibal Lecter have been as good as Anthony Hopkins? Or how would Indiana Jones have fared with Tom Selleck? Or could Brando be the only Don Corleone? Like that.
Yeah. I think the best way to handle this would be to just like spitball some like great characters and like switch up the actors.
And who could nail it?
Exactly. So let's start off from the top. Let's do Indiana Jones, but let's not do Tom Selleck. So Indiana Jones. Who else besides from Mr. Harrison Ford could play that role?
Does age play a factor, or like
I would say like who
take him from a certain time period?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like any time period. I would say right now Tom Hardy would play an incredible Indiana Jones. He has like that. He's a little bit more bulky than the past Indiana Jones, but he's so like physical and actiony. I think that character would be a very interesting Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I mean, also John Hamm would be great for the comedy aspect of it.
That'd be good, yeah.
Who else would be great? Nathan Fillion, when he was a little bit skinnier, would be great.
Younger Nathan Fillion?
Yeah,
I mean,
a little
because
bit younger.
he's basically the Indiana Jones of space anyways.
Exactly.
What about Vince Vaughn?
Younger Vince Vaughn. I would
Vince
say
Vaughn.
like now, like gut-filled Vince Vaughn would play it very well. But he's got that.
Maybe 10, 15 years ago.
And watching season 2 of True Detective, he can pull off serious acting. I wouldn't say very well.
Did you actually make it all the way through
Yes.
season 2 of True Detective?
Yes.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, it was so disappointing. I don't want to talk about it. They're going to do season 3, but it's been like a few years since season 2, so maybe the writer actually has some time to write a season 2.
Okay, I have another role for you to put an actor in.
Okay.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, shit. Who would play Freddy Krueger very well? You need somebody really creepy.
Zachary Quinto.
Oh, yeah. That actually works really well, especially like with his stuff in Heroes. He was kind of Freddy Krueger already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I dig that a lot.
I was gonna say go to my one of my go-tos, which is a young Tim Curry. Not to bring Tim Curry up again this episode, but Tim Curry would have been a great Freddy Krueger because, you think of Pennywise.
Right. How about this? We do Ellen Ripley. So Ellen Ripley from Alien. Instead of...
Without Sigourney Weaver?
Without Sigourney Weaver. Who would play that character really well?
In that time period or currently?
Anybody. Any time period. And any age.
Jennifer Lopez.
You're joking, right?
Yeah, I looked at the cell over there.
No, okay. I was like, he's just like picking random actors off of his wall now.
Let me think. Man, that's a good one, dude. How about the chick from Dexter and from Exorcism of Emily Rose? What's her name?
Oh shit.
You know who I'm talking about? I think she's Dexter's sister.
The one who plays Deb, yeah. They were married for a while.
Dang it, I can't think of her name, but she would be great. And what did you say? Natalie Portman?
Natalie Portman would rock it out.
That would be great.
I could see her in an action type thing, like
you were talking about Jennifer Carpenter.
Yes.
Anyways, sorry to interrupt you, Michael. What were you saying?
Oh no, I just think that Natalie Portman has that hidden wild side, because she can play sweet really, really well and goofy and funny. But then when you've pissed her off, then
heck yeah, that's a different thing.
All right, we got one more. Marty McFly.
Oh, Well, I think
Paul
that.
Rudd.
Really? I think he's too. I think he's too.
I'm like Ant-Man level Paul Rudd. Yeah.
No, I don't see Paul Rudd because when I think of
I would say like Paul Rudd would play the dad pretty well.
No, I when I think of Paul Rudd young, I think of Clueless, and I do not see that Paul Rudd as Marty McFly. I was gonna say, if we could if we could get anyone from any time, a young Fred Savage would be.
Oh yeah,
because he's always so curious and like questioning everything. But also Vince Vaughn, I think, would be a great.
all right. One more.
No, not Vince Vaughn.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Wow, that's a good one.
Who's really drunk all the time? Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is great. Russell Brand.
Oh shit!
Russell
He
Brand
is.
as Captain.
Yeah.
He's not drunk all the time anymore because
But
he's
he
so
is that
banana.
yeah, but he is that character.
That is genius.
And I was also going to say Vince Vaughn. I think. Comedy in threes, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, and now for our last thing, we're going to be switching things up. We're going to be playing Movie Mad Libs, but we're going to be making this a stage production of Matrix the musical instead. And pretty much what we're going to do is we're just going to spitball, create an exquisite corpse of this specific show. So guys, what do you want to do with Matrix the musical?
Well, we've definitely got to, as we said before, we've definitely got to fly a little.
We'll have to have some flying.
We don't want to overdo it because we don't want any severe injuries a la Spider-Man.
Okay, so one thing I really don't want in this is I don't want it to be taken as a farce. I don't want it to be a parody on itself. It has to be straightforward. It has to be an action. It has to be very dramatic, and it has to have some good tension to it. So it'll have some good comedy moments, but it cannot be played as a parody.
Okay. So who's playing Morpheus?
You know what? This is gonna be more your guys' realm for like stage actors and stuff like that. I can bring in some like. I think we should cast like one big movie star into this because that's how it's going to sell, I feel. So I think that would be the more of the Neo character should be cast as like a B-list celebrity.
Okay. I've got it.
Okay.
What is Lawrence Fishburne's character's name?
Morpheus.
Okay. So, if you're familiar with Phil Lamar, who he started out on Mad TV, but he was in Pulp Fiction and he's been in a handful of movies.
Yeah.
He played Cowboy Curtis on Broadway, so he replaced Lawrence Fishburne in that role. I think he could do it in The Matrix on Broadway.
Oh, he would play he is
a great serious actor.
He's a great serious actor. He's lately he's been doing a lot of very like interesting acting roles and more directing stuff. I love that casting. That is fantastic. All right, so we also have to keep in mind this isn't normal like we're in the Matrix.
Right.
We're in the Matrix.
Of course not.
We've got lots of guns all around our faces.
That's great.
That's good.
So
I don't know. We could throw that in.
As it should be the curtain call.
The encore. Okay. We need a Neo.
So we need a Neo. We need a Trinity. And I think those are the three that we should cast, and then we can kind of leave it up to
Will Smith is a pretty important.
Will Smith?
Will Smith is very important.
Will Smith is very important in the history of film.
Smith in The Matrix is.
I would say Smith is good.
There's a key character.
Yes. Okay. Let's say those four. I
think that's the main.
All right. So main actor. We need somebody who is a physical character. Somebody who has been in action films. I don't know how you feel about this, but an action star, kind of lanky, has a really kind of badass look. How about we cast Keanu Reeves? I mean, just like putting that out there, Keanu Reeves would be great for this role.
He would do it fairly well, wouldn't he? Huh.
Keanu Reeves now? Or
Keanu Reeves now would be rad. Have you seen like any of the John Wick movies?
No.
So good. I highly recommend it. Go watch them. They're so much fun.
Gosh, I was trying to think of some young actor that's on Broadway right now. I can't really think of anyone.
I mean, what about the kid who's playing Spider-Man?
Oh, and that's too young.
No?
Young.
Okay.
What about the dude that just won the Tony for Evan Hansen?
Ooh.
He's one of the only young actors I know on Broadway right now.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
And you guys are going to be like, holy shit, you got
Okay.
this. Michael Fassbender. He's done stuff on stage already. He's done a lot of stuff. Very musical guy. He has that kind of physique already. I think Mikeal Fassbender would be a great Neo on stage.
I'm not super familiar with him. So.
Me neither, but if you say so.
Okay.
You sound very enthusiastic, so I'm going to say we can go with that.
Cool. I guess I was expecting like a, yeah.
Okay.
Rally behind Mikeal Fassbender.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. You guys don't know who Mikeal Fassbender is?
I may have heard the name. I don't know.
Mikeal Fassbender. Have you seen the new X-Men movies?
No.
Really?
First Class is the last one I've seen.
He played Magneto.
Oh, okay.
He was in Inglourious Bastards. He was the guy who got shot up when he did the 3 instead of the 3.
Nope.
Well,
I'm
again,
sorry.
I'll get on board with it.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I probably will recognize him.
Yeah, you will. So Trinity, I think she should be like a onstage star.
BB Newirth.
I don't know.
She's old. She was Morticia. She's Lilith from Frasier.
Oh.
Barbara Streisand.
Babala.
Angela Lansbury.
Oh, there we go. She's back.
We can do Patty LaPone as Trinity.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now we're getting too much in parody.
Yep.
I would love to see Patty LaPone play Trinity because that would be great, but it's not gonna work. Idina Menzel.
No.
Come on. No. She's got a great. Adele Dazeem has a great voice. She has that look. She has very skinny look.
She does that. She does have a good look, and of course, she's got a great voice. I've never seen her do anything that's not Disney stuff.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
This would be a challenge for her, but I'm not saying it couldn't happen. What about the?
We could do Sutton Foster, man.
I mean, Sutton Foster,
Hey,
I would cast in a heartbeat for.
But
basically
again,
anything.
I haven't seen her do a lot of. Well, I have seen her do a few lesser Disney type roles. What's the character's name? Who's the older lady in the kitchen with the coffee? What's her name?
The Oracle.
Oracle. I was trying to think of that word. Can we just put? Can we throw Whoopi in there?
Whoopi would be good.
She's a Broadway.
Perfect Oracle.
Yeah, I think Whoopi would be great.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right. The only other person that we need is going to be Agent Smith because Michael wanted us to cast this person.
Agent Smith.
He's so important, and there are
I
other
agree.
fan
He
theories
is-
that
yeah, I
he
agree.
actually is the one.
Let's not talk about fan theories because fan theories are not what we're
I got
going
it.
for.
Alan Rickman
Alan Rickman.
as Ms. Smith.
Alan Rickman is in.
He would have been an amazing Smith.
Yeah.
So
You
we're
mean
not
like-
going with current.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Young Alan Rickman.
No, like now Alan Rickman now.
Alan Rickman's dead, dude.
Not Alan Rickman. Not Alan Rickman.
Oh dear.
Not Alan Rickman. Damn it, what's his name?
Alan-
What's his name? Alan Rickman, you stupid idiot. What's his name? Alan Cumming.
Oh, shit!
Alan Cumming.
That would be incredible.
That's who I was
Okay,
trying to think
no,
of.
he
Alan
can
Cumming.
definitely do
Alan
like
Cumming.
the scary character.
Alan Rickman. Alan Cumming is what I meant.
I mean, Alan Rickman in his.
I
day
was so
would have been
confident
amazing
too. I
at
was
it.
like, Alan Rickman, you guys don't think that's great?
Alan Cumming would be
I
great.
could totally see
See,
that.
I'm
Mr.
not gonna make
and
fun of you
Mrs.
for that because I do that constantly between those two. I just like, yeah, Alan
And when
Rickman.
you guys went, Alan Rickman's dead, dude, and I went, he died? In my head, I'm going, what? Oh no, I'm thinking of Snape. Not thinking of Snape. Okay, sorry. So that was a thing.
All right, so who's casting this again? We got Mikeal Fassbender as Neo, right? We've got
Phil Lamar.
Phil Lamar as Morpheus. We got Alan
Cumming
Cumming
as
Alan
Agent
Cumming,
Smith.
as a not dead Alan Rickman.
Decide on for Trinity.
Trinity. We were kind of
There
leaning
was either Sutton Foster
or Idina Menzel. We have to decide
Why
one or
does
the
it
other.
have to be between
It
those
doesn't.
two? Okay, I would choose Sutton Foster over Adina.
I also would.
Let's do Sutton Foster then. I agree
and
with
Whoopi
that.
Goldberg as the.
As the Oracle. Yes.
Oh, that is
Oh yeah, baby.
Matrix the musical. Michael, can you?
So who's writing the music though?
We decided
Alan
kind of-
Rickman, I think is good.
No.
I mean Macon. No.
Alan Alda.
Alan Alda.
So
Next week, we cast an entire movie with people named Alan.
Hey.
Oh, and are we gonna go with the original idea of doing Rob Zombie doing the soundtrack, because that would be pretty incredible.
I do think that Rob Zombie could direct it on stage.
Maybe somebody else doing the book.
Somebody else doing the book. I agree with that.
It has to be somebody who understands rock and roll and metal, because that was like such a big part of the Matrix itself. You have to have that same feel to it.
Agreed.
So you can't
Agreed.
do
So it'd be a little more like a rock opera, is what you're thinking?
a rock opera, yeah. But not even like a rock.
Yes.
I wouldn't say like a rock opera. No, it just has metal. Like it has more of a grungy soundtrack.
Yeah, I wouldn't want an opera because then you got like American Idiot, which I hated.
Oh, that's the worst.
So, and it wasn't the music.
Heroin
it was the
Babies,
show.
the musical.
Yeah. So we need. But Rob Zombie's a really charismatic dude when it comes to that. He's got a great eye for that kind of thing.
And he surrounds himself with like incredible people who would do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Rob Zombie. I know, Michael, you're not feeling it.
Well,
but
I just don't know him that well, so
yeah.
I'm sure.
I can loan you a few movies.
Movies. How do you say that word again?
Movies.
So okay, let's just say, it's gonna be Rob Zombie.
We've got ourselves a Broadway production.
We got ourselves a Broadway musical. Let's make some money off this, guys.
Who's gonna produce it? Because I think that Vince Vaughn would.
He said
producing
comedies in
now.
threes. Stop. Stop.
Comedy comes in threes. That's 7.
I squoze that one in just.
So thank you so much for listening. Thanks to everybody who's listening to this podcast, letting friends know, letting other people, letting random strangers know about this podcast. Just, you know what? If you want to let people know about this podcast, just grab their phone and subscribe for them. That's the best way to do it. Just like steal their phone.
That's what I like to do.
Guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing. Lots of monkeys involved.
We keep Joel around because we just make him laugh for no reason.
That was such a dumb joke.
That was brilliant.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions for us about movies, television, theater, video games,
Lots of monkeys.
monkeys, you can ask us on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Mr. Kelly. Joel's is Joel Safirin. Michael doesn't have Twitter, and I don't blame him. Twitter is kind of the scourge of the internet right now. You can find us on Facebook at Something Random Media. You can email us at info@somethingrandommedia.com.
Snapchat.
You can Snapchat Joel at Joel Safirin. You can get me at Corgi Buns.
Sure can.
Yep.
And I think I'm just Michael McBee on there. But.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, we love to answer these, and we love that you guys are enjoying the show. We've gotten a lot of positive. We've gotten so much positive feedback this last week, and it just is nice to see that people enjoy the show. So thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.